It's Allie with Untitled Coffee here, and today we're here to do a update on the Crossland CC1. This has been out for a little bit, and the design hasn't changed much, but we wanted to go over the features and kind of talk about what you can do with this machine. It comes in at a really nice price point, more on the entry-level side, but the features it gives you are kind of above the normal entry level. So we'll go ahead and go over it. Got about a 60-ounce water tank in the back here. It's actually in the front, so it's kind of front loading. You don't have to reach around to the back. You've got your cup rail on top that actually removes, which is nice if you're like transporting it or something, or if you just want to clean beneath. Drip tray here, it's actually a pretty decent size for the machine. You don't have to change it that often, which usually these smaller machines you would. It's a stainless steel grate with a little plastic bottom there. You have your screen here, which actually displays the temperature of the boiler, which is nice. You've got 3 programmable doses, or 3 programmable volume, or times, however you want to look at it. So you have 1 cup, 2 cup, and then there is a setting called pod. However, this machine doesn't actually do pods. It's just an extra programmable button for you. It will come with a single basket, a double basket, and then a blind. This is what you clean the machine with, back flush it with, but it doesn't come with any pod compatible baskets, which is why it cannot do that. You do, let me finish this grain and then we'll go over some other stuff. So the last thing you can do, or the last thing you can scroll to on the right here, is the steam. So when it's blinking, it's asking you if you're ready to do steam. You click start. Now it's gonna start heating for you. And then once it's ready to go, it'll actually say, okay, steam. So that will be how you know it's ready. A tip too, if you're doing the steam, I'd run some hot water through the steam arm here, more than just like letting the condensation out. It's just gonna make sure that your milk heats up quicker and will help you out there. So let me get out of this since we are going to the other side here. So I want to talk about how this programming works. So for each setting, so for your double, your single, and that pod option, you can set the temperature. So if you wanted to, sorry, we used the wrong button there. If you wanted to change the temperature, you click in, change it to whatever you wish. Let's go with 202, why not? If I can get it there. You let it blink for 3 times, and then it's set. You can also change so this is actually going to be your pre-infusion. It says pre-steam, which is a little bit misguiding because it's your pre-infusion. So you can change this, which is nice. Not too many entry-level machines give you pre-infusion. So if you click on that, you can change how many seconds you want it to go. I think all the way to 30. Let's see, 15. Okay, so you can do up to 15 seconds. So we're going to keep it at 1. That's how I dialed this in. Let it blink 3 times. Perfect, that's saved. Then you also have a waiting time. So this is the period after you have that pre-infusion, how long you're gonna wait before it applies the pressure. So 2 seconds here for a delay, and then we are going up to dripping time. So this is actually the pour time. This is gonna be how long your shot takes or how long you have it set for. It'll stop at that specific time. I had it set for 35 seconds just because I wanted to dial it in and I didn't want it to time out on me. So it did though. We're gonna move it down to like, let's do 28 seconds. That way, I think my last shot stopped at around 25, 26. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of room in case it pulls longer. But you can always stop it during it if it's, if you see it going too full. All right, so we're gonna let that finish up there. And you will notice there's some more like these deeper programming options here. So this is some pretty in-depth stuff here. I wouldn't recommend playing with this until after you're very familiar with the machine. Look up some stuff in the user manual, but this isn't something you should be messing with when you first get it. So yeah, that's pretty much all the setting options. So the steam arm is what we're going to talk about next. So it's not insulated. You'll want to make sure to wipe it off after, and it will get a little hot. So take advantage of this grip they provide you here when you're moving it around. That way you're not accidentally touching the metal there and hurting yourself. It can do that hot water through the steam You heard that beep. If you heard that, that's just telling me the machine's back up to temperature. So it can do hot water through the steam arm here. So you can just have it on any other setting besides this steam and then open up this steam valve here. This is basically, you turn it towards you to activate the steam or the hot water. So here we go. Get a little trickle there. So this is a single boiler with a thermal block. The thermal block has been updated not that long ago, so it's gonna be a little bit better than a previous version. But yeah, so even though it's a single boiler and a thermal block, you won't be able to steam and brew at the same time. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. You have a 58 millimeter portafilter here, which is really nice. Most other machines will come with like some odd sizes, not really standard. So this one does come with 58. That means you'll be able to find different like baskets and stuff for it a lot easier. It comes with this like slanted basket. And the reason I point that out is because anytime you see this slanted basket, it's usually gonna mean that it's 14 gram. So at first I tried to pack this with 18 grams of coffee and it choked the machine. So if you're noticing that, I found a good spot at around 15 to 17, depending upon the coffee and the grind size. So just be sure to keep that in mind. All right, yeah, not a bad portafilter at all. They do offer a tamper inside the machine as well. I was gonna bring it for you today and then I left it at home. Sorry about that. So I have a Barista Hustle tamper here. Yeah, so I wanted to show you the water tank because this is something that's kind of a quirk on this machine. Take that out. So you have to take out the portafilter to access the water tank. And it's kind of this side maneuver here. So instead of pulling it out directly, what you'll want to do is pull it out and then slide it this way. And then if you're not cleaning it, I'd recommend just filling it like this. When you take it out for cleaning, it's a little bit tougher to get back in. You have to squeeze the little silicone tubes back into it. So it's just a tight fit, a close fit. So just keep that in mind and then slide it on back. It's not that difficult, just a little quirk, something to get used to if you're doing it. I didn't have any trouble filling it up on the side, just whenever I was like emptying the water tank or something like that. Just something, yeah. So there you have it. Why don't we go ahead and make a drink for you? I've got some whole milk here. I've got my Dark Star from Espresso Republic. That's a nice, rich, kind of a punchy coffee. So let's go ahead and get that going. So I'm doing 15 grams for this recipe right now. Got my Note grinder. A good trick if you're doing something manual or something when the dose is maybe a little bit further over in your portafilter, stop it halfway, level it a little bit, and then finish your dose. I'm kind of eyeballing how much it is since it is a manual. Let's weigh it now and just see. We're at 13.6. 15.7, and then I think I said 15. I almost forgot, so I'm gonna knock off just a little bit here. And this is a nice thing about pre-infusion. When you use it, some of these like things you do, like knocking a little bit off, usually would affect your shot, like you'll see some variations there. But with pre-infusion, it kind of helps add a little bit of water to the bed of coffee first, and then you won't have as much differentiations there. It kind of smooths it out, so it's useful. Man, I did not knock any off, so let's go again. $15.5. Sorry, trying to get it without making too much of divots. 15.3. I'm just going to try to get it within 0.2 of a gram, mostly because after that it starts to change the flavor a little bit. 15.2, I'll take it. Okay. All right, make sure to clean off the ears here so not getting any extra coffee stuck on the gasket. It does come with a silicone gasket in here as well, which is nice because it won't wear out as quickly. But something to keep in mind when you have a silicone gasket, you don't want to yank it as much as you would with a rubber gasket. It seals a little bit easier without having to do that. Mine's kind of worn, so we'll see how far I have to lock it in before it is tight. This feels pretty good. Let's go for that. So we're on my 2 cups here. I'm just gonna, sorry about that. I'm just gonna weigh it out before so I can see where it ends up and keep an eye on it as it brews. So you get the timer here. Make sure it catches all that, oops. Nice, looking good so far. And if you're eyeballing it like this and you're not using a scale underneath, typically 1.5 is about 36 grams, which is a good standard recipe. I'm gonna cut it off just a little short because we did 15 grams and not a full 18. So 30.8, I think that's gonna be good. Add it to my cup. The cups do get a little bit warm on top, not like super hot, but they do get a little warm. And this is actually a good way to go about this. Remember when we said running a little bit of hot water through it first? Rinse your shot glass out. That way you're not necessarily wasting the water. You are utilizing it for multiple things. All right, so let's turn this to the steam. Gonna go ahead and hit start there. It's gonna blink for me. Take a few seconds here. This is a fellow pitcher that I'm using. Comes in, I think 2 sizes. And right now I have it filled to 8 ounces because this is about a 6 ounce cappuccino cup here. So I will have a little bit of leftover milk. If you were doing it to save milk or be a little bit more conservative with your milk, you could fill it less than that because you technically have 1.5 ounces of espresso already in there. So there. So we have the light ready to go, or the little signal ready to go. Okay, steam ready. I'm just gonna put it over my drip tray first to see if there is any condensation left over. Let me try to get it over this main little. There we go. So pretty powerful steam. You see, let's see what I can do. It is just a single hole steam arm, so you'll want to aerate it a little bit extra than you would if you had multiple steam holes. Not necessarily a bad thing. I always say these kind of steam arms are better for when you're learning, or if you just want more time to make sure your milk is just right. All right. All right, just too hot to touch or to hang on to there. I'm gonna wipe off my steam arm. See, if you wipe it off right away, nothing really sticks to it. Make sure to purge it, and we can turn off the steam since we're not using that anymore. Maybe might have overdone it with the milk a little bit. Got a little excited about aerating. So I'm gonna swirl it a little bit, try to incorporate the foam. It's probably gonna mess up any latte art though. Oh well. A little hard of sorts. Yeah, so super foamy, that's on me. You can make it as foamy as you want or as non-foamy as you want, depending on how you like it. Let's try it out. Dark Star espresso with some whole milk. Oh yeah, that's really good. A really classic tasting latte. Like you can really tell that the espresso is in there as opposed to some of those lighter coffees where it kind of mellows it out a bit. But yeah, overall that was really good. Yeah, it's the Crossland CC1. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you next time.